Hello there, Diorama Don here once more. Brand new project. This time it's going to be a bombed out train station. Circa 1944, 1945, somewhere in Germany. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel. You'll be informed when new videos come along. It costs you no money. Just click the button and we'll be away. So I bought a train set from China very, very cheaply. Only cost a few pounds, a few dollars. Didn't cost much at all. I utilised one of the engines on the train factory that I made some time ago. So there's one of the engines that I used, just coming out of the factory there. So I've got another engine, which I shall be at the far end of the station, having been bombed and derailed at the front there, and then a passenger carriage at the back there. So that will be my bombed out train station. So I needed two platforms, one here, one at the back there. So what I did was two pieces of polystyrene, two half-inch pieces, could be one inch I suppose, but I only had half an inch. The cheapest possible polystyrene you can get, which is what this is. So we've got that stuck together, and then on a piece of 3mm card I carved out the edging stones, 45-degree angle with a very sharp knife that way, and then 45-degree that way, and that cuts out those grooves all the way along to show the edging. Then the same again with another piece of cardboard, and again cutting out those pieces for the edging of the platform, so that sits like that. And then another thin piece with the same distance on there as the edging platform, so that will go there and look as though, if it lines up, looks as though it's all one big stone on the edge of the platform like that. That's the idea. So that will sit that side of the tracks, and then I made this one up, if you can see that, and that will sit on that side of the tracks. So now we have two platforms either side. What we need now is the backdrop, or the facade of the train station itself, where we are able to walk onto the platform. I'll just show you this. I live in Thailand now, but I used to live in Northamptonshire in England, and very close to where I live is Leicester train station. It's a very long build, well, obviously a long building that you always pass when you come into Leicester on the A6, and I've always been fascinated by its architecture. So I shall base it very loosely on that kind of thing, that design of building. I used a similar kind of thing on the factory that I made a few weeks ago, if you can see that, where the arches are inset into that part and then inset again into another. So the same kind of principle as that, if you get my meaning. So I shall mark that out to what design I want, with the central arch being the entrance to the platform, and then another piece will sit behind for inset arch, and then another piece behind that for the windows, something like that. I'll mark it out and show you what I mean. And then for the bombed out part, there will be giant girders that would have held the roof, so they will sit from the facade there and go over the top of the station that would have been the roof. So there'll be 2 or 3 of those. I'm trying to explain this when I don't really know what I'm doing, because I haven't done this before. So you'll have to excuse my So I'll make what I mean and then show you. That will be the easiest way, I think. But for the time being, I'll mark out my station facade, and then we can go from there. But I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. So it's just a small part of a platform that has been bombed, and the engine has come off the rails, and there'll be a station entrance there, and debris and what have you all around. So I think we've got that now. I'll carry on and mark out that back wall, and I'll be back to show you later. Okay, so I hope what I was trying to explain before is a little clearer now. So we've got our platform and a short piece of train track. So what we need to do is put the building at the back there. So I started with, what the hell did I start with? This piece. So I just cut out the square pieces, can you see? For on one piece of card. On the next piece of card, I put the arches like that, and then the next one with windows. So we've got 4 windows and 1 entrance archway. Then behind that a piece of polystyrene, just to give it the more of a thickness to the building, and then start working out this way now with some moulding along the top, and then extra moulding on these pieces here. So it gives it quite a 3-dimensional look to it, rather than just flat pieces of card. So it'll look something like that. So I hope that makes it a little more clearer. My trying to explain it in words doesn't come out quite so well as actually doing it. So I'll stick all that lot together and try and make some kind of sense of finish to it. This will be concrete, and this will probably be a darker redder colour in here. So I'll do that and come back and see how we get on. Okay, so I finished the platforms. I used a black grout for the actual platform, and then a grey grout for the edging and the base there. I must admit, when I painted it, it looked bloody awful, but it dried quite nicely. I'm quite happy with it now. So with a bit of dry brushing, just to bring out the definition of the bricks there, that should look okay. So there we are, there's the platform. And then the back building, I stuck all together, then gave it a coat of wall filler with a little bit of water, and then grey grout all over, and then just fill in the arches with a brick coloured grout. This is the section that was bombed, blown out, so that will sit there. It's got to have a lot of finishing done to it yet. There'll be a black wash on it, and then the broken bricks on these areas here. And then to go over the whole thing, I made these girders. I just picked out a reasonable shape for what I think would be the girder that goes that makes the roof that goes over the top of the platform. Then with some 2mm cardboard, glue around either side to make up the shape of the girder. Only 2mm would do it. 3mm wouldn't bend enough. So they're the shapes. That is the shape of the girder, and they will sit there. There are 5 of those all the way along there, that way. So it'd be much easier if you could see. There'll be a row of those going along there. Again, they have to be painted and weathered, but that's the general idea. One there. So I'll go ahead and finish the back wall building and put the girders on. Then we'll be ready for laying tracks very near the end. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. So there we are, finished the back wall. I put a black wash on it, but it was a bit too much, so I had to take it off again. But I think it turned out reasonably well. We've got the bricks at the broken arches area, and put the girders on. I just painted those silver and then went over with a black aerosol spray just to give it an old effect. So there we are. There's the station itself. I shall put some rubble all around the platform on here, and then place the train carriage and the engine, and that will be that. The edge of the platform came up pretty well. That looks okay. I just put another black wash on that and then sanded some of it off just to leave just to leave it looking like that, really. Okay, so I'll finish it off now completely, and then I'll be back to show you. Okay, everything all completed now. We've got the bombed out section of the train station over there with all the rubble. There would obviously be a lot more rubble with the roof caving in, but for argument's sake, I think we'll leave it at that. So that's the finished project. I'll just take that away so you can see the actual station. I think it's turned out reasonably well. I know it's 1/35 scale, and if you're thinking of doing anything like this for HO or 00 scale, it's so much more difficult. I know it's such a very small scale, not easy. It's so much easier with 1/35 scale is what I'm trying to say. So if you could utilize some of the ideas, I suppose, for a smaller scale, but in general, not easy to do. I think you understand what I mean. Okay, so there we are. One train station. I'll put the trains back on with the engine at a jaunty angle like that, something like that, or maybe like that. I won't stick them in because I might want to use these for something else. So just for argument's sake, that's what it might look like. So thanks again for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Click that subscribe button. We still need a few more. Numbers are slowing up a bit now. But please subscribe. and you'll be informed of new videos. In the meantime, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy modeling.